Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of ADX Live HD, powered by Jetline Systems. This time around, I actually managed to get a stream a little bit earlier in the morning, so for Europe, it's no longer evening. It's like late afternoon, which is probably really convenient for a lot of you guys who are usually tuning in Europe, and it's always past bedtime, so hopefully you will find that to be a little bit more convenient. Today, taking a look at Orbx FTX Norway, highly anticipated product from Orbx Simulation Systems, and today we are going to get the full terrain experience. Very excited myself. Let's take a look at Sunday's broadcast with 29 Palms. Had a little bit of an issue with a lot of viewers having problems with buffering with the broadcast and so on and so forth. So the upload streams has been upgraded from 5 kilobits per second to 20 kilobits per second, but unfortunately the equipment did not arrive on time yesterday the way I had anticipated. So I do know that there are a number of individuals who do tend to have lower bandwidth, so obviously the more I can upload, the better it is for those who have limited bandwidth, but unfortunately the equipment just didn't seem to arrive on time. But even with that said, it seemed like there were some issues with some of the usual viewers who normally tune in, and they had some issues with buffering as well. So I'm really sorry about that. But the difference between today and that particular broadcast was I was on Skype live with the lead developer Lars Pickenberg in Germany, and so I do wonder if Skype probably had something to do with dragging down the bandwidth, but it hasn't been a problem in the past. So I was a little bit disappointed that we had that issue. So the bandwidth has been improved. Unfortunately, today we're not taking advantage of it because the equipment that I have just doesn't have the ability, I guess, to take advantage of higher bandwidth. So that's the only unfortunate side of things. But I decided today I would press on anyway because moving forward for the rest of the week, I may not have as much time to get in some of these broadcasts. So today is a free day for me. I don't have any work today, so I can actually manage to stick around and dedicate a little bit more time to today's live broadcast. So for today, or for the first part of Norway, I thought I'd start off at Tromso and show the differences between, if you watched the last broadcast that I did of Norway, featuring a lot of Jo Erlend's very lovely products, then you got to see what everything looks like with Open Land Class Europe, also provided by Orbx. So if you want to get a good idea of compare and contrast between the two sceneries, then definitely you want to check out some of those other videos that I did earlier on so you can see just how big the difference is. There's a lot of coverage to cover over Norway, so I decided this time to fly something a little bit faster, so that way we're not here all day flying a small, slow helicopter to take a look at the scenery coverage areas. But by all means, if you are tuning into this morning's chat, you can type in some iCal codes for certain airports that you may want to see, and then I can sort of navigate to different parts of the scenery, and we can just kind of do it by request. So I know that one of the biggest concerns was regarding compatibility with a lot of Jo Erlend's airports, and so naturally we'll be taking a look at all of his current airports, which is of course Tromso, which is where we are now. We'll take a look at Bergen and of course Oslo. Now, as far as Tromso is concerned, the entire island was actually modeled, and so when it comes to compatibility, ultimately when you have something on an island that's kind of separate from the rest of the coverage area, compatibility is actually pretty easy because it doesn't have to blend in with any of the surrounding terrain. In other words, there's no seams or anything like that because everything is separated by water. But nevertheless, now that we're sort of flying a little bit higher over the coverage area, you can kind of get a pretty good idea of what the difference is in terms of the custom scenery versus FTX Norway. And I see Andre's tuning in. So Andre, if you are actually Norwegian, then I think that's pretty. I think that'll be pretty convenient. That way you can kind of point out some areas that are probably worth note or worth seeing in the coverage area. But just taking a look around Tromso here, I think the quality, and obviously the quality is amazing, but as far as compatibility, I think it's quite seamless, again, given the fact that it's an island, of course. Actually, give me a minute. I'm going to change the weather. I'm going to get rid of these cirrus clouds here. Give me 1 second. Screen's going to go blank for just a moment. Let's see here. We're just going to go with clear skies. Yeah, that's a little bit easier to see. And Don's happy, just got home from work and finding the stream starting at a convenient time. Yeah, I thought for the very loyal Europeans, I would try to get something in a little bit earlier for you guys. You guys are real troopers, staying up late at night for a lot of my broadcasts, so definitely wanted to try to do things a little bit earlier today. It's around, what is it, just about 50 minutes past 8 a.m. here. And luckily for us, we're getting more rain today, which is good. I think we're finally moving out of that horrible drought, being the worst drought in California history. So we're finally getting some water again, starting to replenish some of those reserves. Even the local mountains actually have snow. So from my house, and I'm only about a quarter mile from the beach, but from my house, you can actually see the snow up in the mountains. Obviously, you can't see it today because it's raining, but you can actually see the snow from where I live, which is cool. So, but unfortunately, it's the middle of the week, so getting up to the mountains, not so much an ability, unfortunately. It would have been nice to go up and play in the snow today, but it'd be being by myself. The wife's at work, kids at school, so it's not fun when you don't have anyone to throw snowballs at. So just making our full flight around the island of Tromso, and actually just kind of going down to an overhead view here. I am using the is it the 2098 textures? I'm not using the highest resolution that P3D allows, which is that 4098. And that's because for purposes of streaming, especially for purposes of flying long distances, it's just much easier on memory. So there are circumstances when I do use it, and there are circumstances when I don't. But this is pretty much more or less how those in FSX would use it. So minus the aircraft shadows, you're pretty much seeing it the way that if you use FSX, this is pretty much how you'd be seeing it in FSX. So it should give you a pretty good idea. So for the most part, this is the area surrounding Tromso, which is actually north of the Arctic Circle, if I'm not mistaken, or is located within the Arctic Circle. So quite naturally, this could be 5 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock at night. It probably wouldn't make much of a difference. But it looks fascinating. It's definitely a terrific landscape to fly over. And Orbx is coining this as their most detailed region yet. So of course this is the more rural North Nordic territory. But I'm looking forward to getting into some more of the more populous cities, which I think would be good for some contrast and comparison. And as far as frame rates goes, you can look at the frame rates in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. It should be present up there. And frame rates are jumping anywhere. My frame rates, by the way, are set to unlimited, so frame rates are jumping everywhere from as low as 50 to as high as 90, I saw. So you're certainly not going to have any frame rate issues. Alright, so Andre is saying if I fly in a southwest direction towards, I'm not going to even try to pronounce those city names, you'll find a lot of excellent fjords where the mountains rise up from the sea. Airports in the area, ENSK and ENSH. Tromso is at 68 degrees, Arctic Circle is 70 degrees north, so you're almost there. Okay, good to know. Let's see here. So if we fly in a southwesterly direction, okay. Oops, we want to go southwest. So what are we thinking, 21? And we'll take a look and see where some of those fjords are out in that direction. I think I'm flying in the right direction here. And there's Tromso again off in the background. And in case any of you have missed that Tromso broadcast, that's a terrific airport. It's got some amazing internal modeling. In fact, my wife was looking at the rebroadcast of the stream, and she just thought it was really cool how you could just walk through the whole terminal. It was like a dollhouse. So very well done scenery there. And I've actually flown, I did a couple of flights there already. I did one flight last week from A-Flight's Helsinki using the A319 from Aerosoft. I did one from Helsinki, and then I did another flight going from Tromso to St. Petersburg by Digital Design. So I've done a couple of flights already. And fairly short flights. I think what was I think the one to St. Petersburg was what, just under 2 hours or around 2 hours flying time. So lots of airports in the area. Nice to see a lot of airports in the area. In fact, I haven't taken a look at Vanta from JV Tiski Design, so that's one of the airports that I need to showcase pretty soon. I had planned on doing it, and then once I had to do the system reinstall, I just haven't been able to get around to reinstalling all of my airports, unfortunately. And actually, right now, because Don makes a good point about the weather, I'm actually using this is actually summertime. So if you'd like to see what it looks like this time of year, if you want to bear with me for just a minute, I'll change the time and season to the current date. Let's see, today is December, today's December 16th, right? So we'll go to December 16th and load those textures. And I don't think, oh, well, yeah, this is the downside of that. I actually forgot about that. If we go to real world, things get dark. I actually forgot about that. But at least we can see a little bit of the snow textures. In fact, let me see if I can get it as bright as possible. I'm not sure how high I can get that sun to climb. Let's see, right now, this is 11:21 in the morning. Gosh, I guess that's about as bright as it gets. Yeah, that's about as bright as it's going to get. So, yeah, one of the reasons why it's better to use summer is just so that the winter textures can actually be seen in the daytime, at least when you're this far north. Wow, but look at that that terrain. That is really beautiful, though. Now, this is a perfect place to get some tac pack going here. This is a perfect place to do some dogfights. That's some terrific terrain there. Very nice. Let's see, just taking a look at some comments here. Give me a moment. The board's asking, do you have any idea how I can extend loading distance for texture and objects and prepare to V2? What do you mean exactly, Gabor? I mean, looking at how far everything is loaded here, I mean, is your simulator not loading everything to that distance? I mean, have you taken a look at your visibility, for example? I'm not really sure if I follow. So this is a little bit of the render textures. I'm probably going to change the time and season again only because it's so dark. It's kind of hard to really see the terrain all that well. This is like the middle of the day, and this is about as bright as it gets. I kind of like the eeriness to it, though. It does look pretty cool. There's an airport coming up straight ahead. And I know on airdailyx.net, a lot of people were talking about there's a lot of quality freeware airports in Norway. So I don't think I saw any links to the websites that host them, but I might have to go in and take a look at some of those freeware airports that are apparently available. Tor is on board. Tor is saying try February. All right, let's do that. I'm going to pause. Give me just one moment. Let's see. Time and season. Let's try February. Let's try February 15th, perhaps. Let's see if it gets brighter. Taurus says in Norway we fly the F-16. I don't have any F-16 in my collections, unfortunately. It's kind of rare. Oh, this is perfect. Thank you, Tor. Oh, that's much better. I'm actually trying to think. I really don't have many military aircraft in my collection. I guess I'll have to change that. I think Aerosoft has a nice F-16, don't they? That's definitely something worth a look. I'm just a real big fan of this particular product. Lotus is a really quality, talented, highly talented developer, and I thought, it's a good excuse to whip this thing out. It's so rare that I actually fly it, so I thought, why not? I don't know though. If we were flying an F-16 though, we'd be blowing this thing away. We'd be going too fast to actually see the quality of terrain pass by underneath. Let's take a look at that airfield down there. Maybe try to do a touch and go, or maybe just a flyover. I think I'm going way too fast for a touch and go here. So a few of you guys have been calling this the Alaska of Europe, and it's easy to see why. That's some very barren terrain out there. But look at that though. It looks very, very pretty. It still amazes me how Orbx, gets all the data to do entire countries. That's insane. I mean, I was a huge fan of ground environment and ultimate terrain products back in the FS9 days, and that stuff used to impress the hell out of me. But I mean, that stuff doesn't throw a stone to the quality that we see here. Doesn't come close. It's like, how do you get all the doggone data? I mean, it's no wonder that it takes as long as it does to create these programs. But even so, I mean, we're talking entire countries. That's insane. Now, I wonder what airport this is. Somebody, I'm sure, will probably be able to tell me what airport this is we're coming up on. Certainly has a very scenic approach. And there's some trees down here too, actually. A little too fast for a touch and go, but we can do a flyover. I wonder what airport this is. Really digging this approach, though. Very scenic. Actually, I think I am slow enough now. I can probably put that landing gear down on the deck a little bit. Some very nice surroundings up here. I wonder what airport this is. I'm sure someone's probably typing it in chat. I'll have to take a look in a second. Very nice. Uh-oh, got some floating houses out there, huh? Are those houses floating? They are floating. I wonder what's causing that. This kind of reminds me of FTX SAK. I'm trying to think, what city is that? There's one particular town that's like right adjacent to a runway there, and it always gets floating buildings, and I think everyone was saying that it's some sort of limitation in the simulator. I really can't remember, but some floating buildings down there, so I guess that's of a worthy note. Let's see, tourist saying that is Badufas. I know I pronounced that wrong. You guys are gonna have, I'm gonna have to ask for your forgiveness early on here, because I know that a lot of you are gonna be giving me names, and I'm gonna butcher them. I know. Norwegian is quite a complex language, so nothing is it's sort of similar to like Dutch. It's like you look at words, but you can't pronounce them for what they really are. So let's see here. All right, I'm gonna just scroll back up and take a look at some comments here. I see that there's some requests for airports, so I'm gonna take my hands off the controls here for a second, and let me see, what are some of these airports? Okay, so we saw ENSK, and what was the other one? ENSH. Okay, I realize we don't have any sound here, do we? Let me see here. There we go. Let's see, maybe I can turn up a little bit of the airplane sounds. Hopefully that's not too loud over my voice. If you guys can hear the jet engine, I realize it was just a little bit too quiet. Let's see here. Yeah, it would have been nice to show Tromso in the winter, but unfortunately, I would have had to go into the control panel to do that separately. So, let's see. Okay, so other airports is ENVR, which looks like it's pronounced Veroy, which I know it's not, but we'll type in ENVR, and what else? What was the other one? ENRS. I think I know where I'd like to go next. I think I would like to go to Narvik. So let's see here. Let's switch over really quickly, and I think let's just. It's better now to get an idea of what Narvik looks like before Tor's masterpiece is released. Let's see. Go to airport. Was it ENNR, or am I just guessing? Oh, EN and K. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's it. Let's check out Narvik. Let's see what it looks like before the canvas is laid out. In reference to Gabor there, I would recommend you get an SSD. SSDs just load so much faster. Is Misha in there? Oh, Misha, what's up, man? Awesome. All right, we're at Narvik now. And don't get me wrong, the representation here looks very nice. But once Tor gets in here and gets to work, it's going to look immaculate. No doubt. Let's see here. Just checking some more of the comments here before we fly around. Okay, and Misha's saying check out Alisand. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Misha, do you know what the iCal code is for that, for the nearby or the nearest airport? So I can go there as well. Let's see what else. Tor says, "Good luck with the ENNK landing." I'll turn around and do a landing here, but I want to do it on that curved runway that you're working on. That's what I want to do. Yeah, let's fly around Narvik a little bit and just take a look at what the FTX Norway rendition of it looks like. Let's go back to the simulator here and cruise around Narvik a little bit. I've been running my mouth for Tor's Narvik for, what, has it been a year now? It's been like a year and a half now. And it's one of the areas that I'm most looking forward to. That and Bodo, Bodo, cough. I remember when Tor had his own website for that Bodo scenery, and the first time I saw it, I just flipped out. I thought it was just absolutely awesome. Why did my Christmas tree lights just go out? Okay, there we go. Anyway. Yeah, I just thought that just looked absolutely awesome, that Bodo scenery, and when it does eventually get completed, I know that's going to be pretty killer too. Some more floating houses here? No. I guess that was just in that other area. I can't wait to see the custom water masking too for the area. I know that's going to be pretty awesome as well. Let's go with Maggie here. Let's go. Are those ski slopes? Is that a ski resort there just above Narvik? I wonder. It looks like those are some ski runs there. Not sure. But if it is, be sure to tap some of Misha's ski from Lake Tahoe, the ski lifts. That's always a fun add-on. And then thinking about Jared's lifts as well in Palm Springs. I guess I'm just kind of a sucker for those little animated lifts. Let's see here. Taking a look at some comments. Whoa. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna give you a fair warning right now. I know that when we had the storm last week, we actually didn't run out of power here in my part of town, but there were some parts of LA that lost power because sometimes those palm trees just fall down on the power line. So right now I'm noticing that the lights in my house are starting to dim. So if the stream cuts out, that's just because I lost power. So what can I say? I hope not. But it's like the Christmas tree lights are acting funny over here, and I'm noticing some of the other lights here are kind of dimming and going bright again. So just in case, if the power goes out, it's because of the storm, and I'll apologize in advance for that. But yeah, I'm just starting to noticing things are acting kind of funky over here. So just FYI. Let's see here. N-E-A-L. Okay, let me write that down. Wait a minute. E-N-A-L, sorry. Okay, just gonna swing back over to Narvik again and try to squeeze down on that runway. Anything else? Let's see. DeAndre, do you know why it's so difficult to replace, this is coming from Seth, to replace default runways, taxiways with more realistic ones, such as payware airports? I'm surprised Orbx still uses default runways in their scenery regions. Maybe it's a major undertaking. Has also puzzled me, wondering if, I'm sorry, what is the question? Do I know why it's so difficult to replace? I don't know that it is difficult. I mean, I'm not a scenery developer. Misha or Tor might be able to answer that question for you. I don't know if they're difficult to replace per se. As far as the airports in Orbx FTX regions, I can tell you that they are above default. They actually go in and they do a lot of custom additions to the airports in FTX regions. They add, they put in more accurate AVCADs. I think they even throw in like people flow, animated people and stuff like that in those airports. So I have learned not to call them default because the guys will rip me a new one for doing it. So I don't call them default airports, but certainly the non-third-party payware add-on airports for FTX region sceneries, they actually do go in and do a lot of custom work to them. But as far as default runways and stuff, what I use is Rex 4 Texture Direct. And if you have that, and I think some of the other Rex programs do it as well, but I use Rex 4 Texture Direct. And Rex 4 Texture Direct actually gives you like 100, not 100, I mean that's over exaggerating, but you do get a huge assortment of runway textures and apron and ramp textures and that you can replace over the default. That makes it look more payware quality. You can select the type of runway markings you want to use and the whole 9 yards. Like different countries or different regions different regions of the world use different runway markings and taxiway markings and so on and so forth. So you can actually go in and make those selections in Rex 4. So if you don't have that, that's something you might want to consider looking into. Ooh, that's a nice bridge out there. But yeah, as far as I know, I mean, that's about it. I don't know. I mean, that's if I'm understanding your question correctly anyway. I actually don't know what the procedure is for approaching Narvik out here, so I don't have any charts. So I'm just going to do some guesswork. Number one, I know that you're not going to fly right over that hill because that would be too much of a steep angle of attack to then try to, get down on that runway. But maybe I'll just like kind of snake along the coast here maybe. And let's see. I guess maybe I'll just try to snake along the coast and then do like a quick left turn downwind to final. I think. I know that before Narvik is released, someone will post a video on how to properly fly the approach. Actually, I could just go on YouTube, huh? Little marina there. And then I guess I'll just swing it hard left. Or was I supposed to come in from that direction? I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, just swing a hard left turn and put it down, I guess. Ooh, I'm kind of low. Oh, no, did I stall? Holy crap. Oh, shoot, I couldn't see. Holy crap, I'm so busy looking at the runway, I wasn't actually looking at my instruments. Alright, that's my fault. Holy crap. I gotta get my head down here a little bit more. Alright, okay, alright. Ha ha ha. We get a little bit of a laugh today. See, that's why it's a simulator, so I can go back and do it again. Even though it's still embarrassing. So I don't know how the internet's working out for you guys. Like I said, Sunday was kind of a pain for a lot of you, I realize. So the bandwidth has been increased to the current maximum, which is like 200 kilobits per second download and 20 on the upload. So that's the maximum currently offered, and that's what I got. But I need a new cable modem in order to pick up that bandwidth, and it didn't arrive yesterday as I was promised. So the last I checked the FedEx tracking number, it said that it was en route, whatever that means. But in my neighborhood, even though the FedEx location, which is like in Santa Monica, actually it's not in Santa Monica, it's in Marina del Rey, but they call it SMO after the Santa Monica airport code. It's like literally 5 minutes from where I live, and yet my particular neighborhood is like the last one to get the freaking deliveries at the end of the day. So I don't know. Maybe that's how they operate, is they do the deliveries further out, and then they work closer back to their station at the end of the day. I have no idea, but nevertheless, it didn't arrive yesterday, so that was kind of a bummer. All right, let's go back and do this again. Hey, I never claimed to be a good pilot, okay? I never claimed to know what I was doing, so that's my excuse. Of course, I haven't done that in real life, so I tend to be quite a bit more cavalier when flying in the simulator. I tend to get, you know, it's not real, so sometimes I get a little, and then I run my mouth a lot too instead of concentrating. All right, here we go. Let's do it again. I was too low coming in before anyway, so. Though I imagine with the heavy crosswind, this airport would be a real pain in the ass to try to land on. It's going to be a lot more fun with that curved runway, though. That sloped runway, I should say. Curved runway. Wow, that would be... Now we're talking about Papua New Guinea here with curved runways. All right, here we go. Hopefully Captain Gombo's not watching, because he won't let me live this down. I'll be dining out on this for weeks. Remember that time when you crashed your airplane in Narvik and blah, blah, blah. All right, here we go. Coming in pretty hot. Ooh, coming in way too hot. That runway is really short. I think I'm gonna wind up overshooting here. Am I gonna overshoot? Ooh, there was a spark there. What did I do wrong? I saw a spark. I must have struck the tail, huh? That's what it looks like. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I know what I did wrong. What the hell is wrong with me today? I'm serious. I'm losing my mind. That's the second time I've done that. Holy crap. Alright, I'm losing my mind today. I really am. Alright, let's take a look at some of these other iCal codes here. Gonna take a look at some of the comments really quickly. So Taurus actually saying yes. Oops, what happened? What did I just do? Oh, there we go. Hang on. There we go. Let's see here. So Tor is actually saying yes, there will be cable car animation, I guess, heading up that way. So that's good. Let's see. And Misha's saying at Seth, the runways you see in paywars are done custom and placed by hand. They cannot be applied universally. So hopefully that answers the question. And Andre's saying, hope you have a surge protector for your PC power. Oh, I've got a very, very high quality surge protector. You kidding me? Have to. This computer's worth five grand. I can't let something go wrong. My life would be over. Let's see. All right. Looks like Rolio's got his internet checked out. Let's see. Alright, just scrolling through comments here. Give me a minute. Okay, cool. So it looks like Misha answered the question. Let's see. Yeah, the L39, once you get to the approach, that thing wants... It's kind of like... It reminds me of the Learjet. It almost wants to drop on final approach. You really have to be careful. So, I'm really hoping that... what is that... Majestic gets that Q300 out here. I think that would be really great to fly that... I want to say Wildro. I don't know how you pronounce the airline, but that would be really cool. Brawl, he's on board. Welcome aboard. Tor's like, you managed to stop. Yeah, I managed to stop because the landing gear was up. So I don't know if I can actually go back in and do it again, and this time remember to put my gear down, of course. Let's see here. But let's see. There was a question to take a closer look at some of the buildings, so let's go ahead and do that. I feel compelled to do this approach one more time the proper way here. Yeah, the only reason why I managed to stop is because there is no landing gear. That's basically... Ooh, I struck the tail. That's basically the only way I guess you can stop on this runway is to... oh, yeah, I didn't have enough airspeed here. Let's go. Forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the only way to stop on that runway is to put the landing gear up. That's pretty much how it's done. And Tor, I guess I'm assuming there'll be a custom bridge there with the scenery, or will we just use the one that's already present? I guess that's a good question. So, and just looking at the screenshots that were published yesterday, I think they were either yesterday or day before yesterday, going into a stall again. Let me see if I can put that nose down and recover it. Yeah, just looking at the city itself and all of the autogen buildings in the area, I mean, it's far more than what we see here. Far more. So, and a lot of the buildings actually look like custom autogen as well, which is really cool. Got some cars down there. So this gives a very good idea of what the area looks like, but of course it will be done far better as soon as it's released, which looks cool. Alright, so I guess can I at least assume that I approached the runway properly? I'm going to go back and do it again. One more time with the landing gear down this time, and we're not going to stall. But is that pretty much the proper approach? Do you sort of just follow that coastline in and then just kind of swing that left turn, I'm assuming? Which is my guess. I'm going to do this one more time, then we're going to head over to the next iCal code that was provided. Let's see, we're going to do it one more time. Let's bleed some of the speed off here. I actually really like the shaking animation when this aircraft goes into a stall. Okay, where is it? Okay. Let's see, 225 knots. Let's do this one more time. I guess the ideal thing would be to stay over the water and not actually go over the coast, huh? Okay, here we go. All right, let's do this again. Oh, don't want to come in too low again. I feel like I'm already too low here. There's the marina. Gear is definitely down this time. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can... Now the next thing will be is I'll wind up overshooting. Ooh, some hard left rudder there. Watch the bank angle. This kind of reminds me of, what's that airport? Ooh, I put it down a little bit late. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Saba Island from Fly Tampa. Ah! Stop, 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 no! Wow, okay. So, definitely this is going to be a fun approach to do with the payware version. No doubt. Oh, gosh. Boy, that approach is harder than it looks. It really is. Alright, come on. Let's crash it and bounce back up in the air. Here we go. Alright, well, that approach is harder than it looks. So, that's going to be a lot of fun. As we can see here, I've blown it 3 times in a row. So, let's not waste any more time blowing it. Let me, let's see here. We're going to go to, there we go, desktop. Let's go to the next airport. Let's see. So I think for some of you guys watching, I think you kind of already have a pretty good idea. That's gonna, and that was in like a small jet. So imagine trying to do that in something a little bit bigger. ENAL. Okay, here we go. And we'll just keep pushing our luck until we run out of memory, changing the airport sceneries. But oh my goodness. Yeah, I managed to blow that 3 times in a row. Oh, so they actually come down. So, Tor, you're saying they actually come down over the hill and they just nose straight down to the runway? Is that how it works? Let's see. Just checking any comments. Rolio says it's harder because I'm doing it wrong. Okay, there you go. All right, so this airport was it Alisand? No, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Let's go full screen. Yeah. Oh wait, I did. Did I switch out of the? Hang on. Just make sure. Yep. All right, here we go. And again, apologies if I'm pronouncing everything incorrectly. Oh wow, look at that landscape. Wow. Should I change the time and season back to summer? Maybe get summer textures again? I guess are we a little bit further south this time, it looks like. Maybe. Let's see what this looks like from the air. Boy, I guess it'd be a dream to get all of these airports in high quality. I mean, besides the airports that Tor is working on, I don't know of any other payware products besides Tor and Yo Airland, and of course those guys from KDM who are working on Tor. Is there anyone else working on any high quality payware scenics for Norway? I guess that's a good question to ask. One of the things I should mention is with the control panel, you can elect, if you're flying in winter, a lot of the areas that are usually frozen over in winter, there's actually an option to select that in the control panel, and you can have the frozen lakes and rivers and certain parts of the sea that freezes over. So at some point, I guess we're going to have to try that out before we end the stream to see what all those frozen areas look like. Of course, it'd be helpful to know where to go, so it's a good thing a couple of the Orbx guys are on board this morning to try to help me out with that. Alright, so Misha's saying go to the city. It's done in photoreal. I have no idea where the city is, so I am going to just kind of swing a large arc, I suppose, until we find it. Or is that it straight ahead? Let's see. But the city evidently is in photoreal, so let's see if we can find it. That's not it, is it? Let's see. Is this the city area here? Okay, the photoreal one is more to the right. Yeah, this is more land class. Okay, let's turn right. It actually does look pretty good, though, just looking down at that. Oh, there it is. Okay. I see now. It's got that Gibraltar-esque looking hill over there. I see it. And where is the airport? Okay, I see where the airport is. Okay. Try to slow things down a little bit without stalling here. Love that water coloration there. And yeah, I guess, yeah, this is some of the photoreal here that was at it, which looks really nice. It's some high resolution photoreal terrain coverage too. Yeah, I think Orbx really found the best of both worlds. I mean, there are those who are very staunch about flying over photoreal terrain, and they're not really, you know, huge fans of autogen. They just want everything to look the way it does in real life. I mean, you know, and that's fine and dandy. The problem with photoreal, though, when you have so much photoreal coverage, the issue can be that, you know, that stuff can get really big after a while, and that can really, you know, take up huge amounts of your hard drive space. I think Orbx found sort of the perfect trade-off, and I love the fact that the more important areas and points of interest are actually done in photoreal. And yeah, I think this is actually the perfect trade-off. That looks magnificent. So you get the photoreal in the areas where it counts most. And then, of course, if third-party developers ever decide to come in and develop certain areas of their own, then they can go in and add their own photoreal terrain coverage as well. That looks very nice. Nice little bridge there. I have all my ships turned off, so I usually don't use the ships. I find that having ships and sea traffic can be a serious killer on frames, so as a result, I just never turn it on. We better keep an eye on my speed here. Wow, look at that. That's actually well done. And if I can just ask Misha, does this get covered, this particular area, does this ever get covered in snow? So is there a winter terrain texture for this, or is this pretty much the way this particular area looks all year round? This would be a good question to ask. And at the risk of killing the stream with buffering, I mean, if any of you guys want to come on live and talk about the stream, you're more than welcome to do so. Just let me know. Boy, that's some high quality there. I remember with Open Land Class, when Mount Vesuvius was added to Naples, a lot of people went crazy over that because of just how realistic it looked. And I actually did cover that in a live stream as well. So yeah, it's really good to see some of these areas, because you know, it's like it's FTX, but with the exception of the airport itself not being third party. I mean, any developer that chooses to do that airport, they really won't have to touch the city. I mean, it's done. It's pretty much done. So I mean, look at the style of houses that were used. Very, very accurate looking. Lots of trees down there. There you have your football field. Wow, that all looks terrific. And let's actually take a quick look at where it starts to blend into the land class here. Swing back around. Actually looks like it's starting to get a little dark here. I'm going to have to see if I can adjust the time. Let me just try that really quickly, because it's actually starting to look just a little bit dark. Bear with me for a second. I don't know if I can get it much brighter than that. Not quite. I guess it's probably as bright as it's going to get. Sorry about that. Let me take a quick look at some comments here. Let's see. And Andre's asking, are there any other photoreal areas in FTX Norway? So if you guys want to point anything else out to me, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to head over to the next iCal code that was punched in the chat there. So this is, see, we're looking at, so at the top of the screen we're looking at the edge of the photoreal, and then at the bottom we're looking at where it blends in with the land class. It actually looks so seamless. It's kind of hard to tell where one stops and the other begins. It's actually quite a seamless transition there. That looks awesome. Very well done. Very nice. All right. We're definitely going to take a look at Bergen and Oslo before we sign out, so don't worry about that. Echo November Romeo Sierra was one request, so we're going to head there next. Just switch back to desktop so you guys don't get stuck with that dark screen there while we load. All right, so the next request was Echo November Romeo Sierra. Røst. There's probably a line that should be going through that O there, I'm sure. Let's see here, just browsing through some comments. Oh, there we are. All right, looks like we're further north. I have no idea where we are. Can anyone? So for Echo November Romeo Sierra, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if we're further north or further south. I want to say we're further north because it looks like it's even more barren. It looks like the further north you go, the more barren it becomes, but I could be wrong. All right, let's take a look. Wow, I feel like we're like near the North Pole somewhere, huh? We're way out there. Where are we? Whoa! Check this place out. Wow, where are we? Somebody gave me something and now we are like literally way out over God knows where. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to do that top-down map view. I'm like really curious where we are now. Boy, this is like this is where you want to be when the world ends, like way in the middle of nowhere where the aliens won't come. Let's see here. Yeah, this looks super north, isn't it? So which direction should I mean, are they terribly far? I mean, between Veroy and Lofton, I mean, how far are they if we were to just fly straight out? Is it a long flight? Or is it better to just use the iCow and do it that way? Wow, look at this place. Wow, this is like way far out. Let me just see something really quickly here. What is the top-down menu view command here? Let me see here. Top-down, here we go. Let me see, does this do it? I gotta see where we are here. Oh, we're not that far north. Okay. I get it now. I'm thinking we're like way out here somewhere. But no, we're actually further south because I think Narvik is like further up than where we are now. So that makes sense. I was like, where the heck are we? Okay, I see now. This is where we are. Well, that's pretty cool. Alright, now I get it. Somebody's got to make that airport for a third-party scenery. That looks really cool. Let's see. Let's go back to spot view. Here we go. So that's where we were. That actually looks like a fun airport to fly out to. Just kind of out in the middle of that nowhere out there. It's pretty cool. 5 minutes with jet. Can someone give me a heading? It's the tip of the Lofton Islands, Andre says. Bodo is in front. All right. Well, I want to go to Bodo. I definitely want to go to Bodo because that's one of my new favorite sceneries that hasn't been released yet. So what is the heading for Bodo? Can anyone just give me an idea? I mean, if we're like doing 120, what would be the direction that I should fly in for Bodo? Yeah, the land class is pretty incredible. Wow, I would have never guessed that there would have been an airport out there. I would have never even thought to go out there. So I'm actually making sure I keep these iCal codes that you guys point out because these are going to be the most interesting flights to do. Very neat. Okay, more left. I guess I'm going... Should I follow like the strand of islands going north? Is that what I should do? Let's see here. The low ones. Alright, so I'm guessing we want to be going this way, more or less. Let's go full power here. If that's the case, Tor, I mean, if that little airport out there is like 5 minutes from Bodo, maybe it'd be cool to, you know, enhance that area a little bit. I don't know. I'm like really digging that that approach. That looks pretty cool. Let's see. So hopefully I'm flying in the right direction. Oh, more to the right. Okay. We'll stay at spot view, that way you guys can see where I'm going here. Okay, island. Well, there's a couple of islands here. There's like, I feel like there's a million islands out here, but I guess it's the one, maybe it's that one straight ahead. I think. Okay, yeah, I guess this one straight ahead. Wow, this is, I really love the topography up here. This is really nice. This is going to be a lot of fun doing Airbus routes and stuff up here to some of these remote airports. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so hopefully now I'm pointed in the right direction. So far the electricity seems to be holding, so that's a good thing. Okay. And once Narvik is released, I think that's going to be that's going to be a fun live stream, because I think we're just going to choose many different types of aircraft, and we're just going to fly in the approaches and see how many hits and misses we can do. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'll have to do some practicing, of course. I actually like, even though I wasn't approaching it properly, I actually like doing it that way. That actually makes it more fun. I mean, that looks really realistic. Look at how they just got like the floating ice out there. I'm assuming that's ice. God, that looks cold. Alright, so Bodo is coming up straight ahead. And I'm assuming, so Bodo is the entire island there, I suppose? I guess it's not ice, huh? It actually looks like land. There's a lot of specks out there. Very interesting. So I am assuming Bodo is the island. Okay, no, small islands, many of them. Bodo are behind the island straight ahead. Oh, I see. So we should actually see some fairly large cities coming up here pretty soon then. And Aurelio says a lot of people will be flying in Norway in the coming months. Oh, I'd like to think so. I'm very interested to see. I mean, I know that what's that airport that Yo Airland is redoing? Trying to remember. Oh, here's an airport here. I guess this is the airport here. But I'd be curious. I'm actually curious to learn what else he might be working on as well. That's actually a nice little flight. You can fly. Where's that? Where were we? We were way out there somewhere, right? That's actually a nice little flight. You can do like a nice little C-172 or something. That's actually a nice little scenic flight to do over the water. Not bad. And so now I think we have found Bodo. And I don't know if you're able to type in how to properly pronounce it. I don't know. The O that has the line through it, I'm not sure how that's pronounced. So, because it looks like an O, I think naturally it's just easier to say O. But I have a strong feeling that's not the way it's supposed to be pronounced. Let's try in a little touch and go here. And there, I guess that's Bodo there, huh? Wow, that's actually a pretty populous city there. Whoa, I'm getting kind of blown off the center line here. Ouch. Let's see if I can't clean this up here a little bit. The airport. Very nice. So for those of you who have actually seen those early previews of Bodo, I mean it's got a lot of really modern looking architecture and buildings, and just waiting on Tor to whip that out. I mean, it's an incredible work, and I know we've talked about it quite a bit on AirDailyX, you know, a couple years back, and the quality of work is just really incredible. So we hope to be able to see it next year. But oops, why am I keep turning my head like this? Let's go to the spot view. I'm like cranking my neck trying to turn around. There we go. I tell you, there's some beautiful views out here. Okay. Let's see here. Just taking a look at comments to see where we're going to go next. Oh, the O. Oh, okay. The O with the spike through is like a U in the word but. So, would it be Bodo? Does that make sense? Or Bodo, maybe? Let's see. Oh, and this is actually Tor's hometown here. Awesome. Well, that certainly explains a lot. There it is. So somewhere down there, a highly talented flight simulation developer is bringing some really awesome stuff to flight simulation. That's what we know. Somewhere down there, somewhere, one of those little houses. Very nice. I mean, even the offering, there's that word default again, but it's still exciting to fly into. I mean, the landscape is just, it's incredibly impressive. It really is. All right, the next on the list was ENVR, which I imagine is still fairly close, but we're just going to head over there. Let's see, go to airport. But we're just going to type it in, ENVR. Uh-oh, someone said ENVR, but that's not registering here. Hang on. Yeah, someone said ENVR. There's ENVE, maybe ENVY. There's no ENVR. Let's try ENVY, maybe. Let's see here. Whoa. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, isn't someone developing this island out here? Now that I think about it, that's not Tor, though, is it? Wasn't it? I'm trying to think. You know what? Hang on a second. Let's go back to the desktop here. Someone is working on this airport. And I know because I wrote about it. Hang on a second. ENVY. Is it ENVY? Nope. Wait, what's the code or the airport again? VAE. I know, I could have sworn I wrote something about that. Is it just my imagination? Huh. Maybe it's on the old website. I'm really curious now. I'm like, I have to look. Oops, that's the wrong one. Oh, is it Yo Airline that's working on that then? When was this? This was from 2013. This was June 2013. So that was a little over a year ago. Aerosoft Norway. I'm like, I know he wrote something. Oh yeah, here it is. Oops, why did I click that? Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. I wonder why that's not released yet. It looks like it's almost done. Someone correct me, this is not out yet, right? Yeah, I'm sure I would have announced it if it was. What else did we... Who wrote this article? I wrote this article. Yeah, I forgot about this. It was like over a year ago, so I sort of kind of forgot, but look at that. Wow. And this is definitely not released yet. This was on FS Developer. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that is. That's Yo Airland. This is his project. I wonder what's going on with this one. I'm going to have to ask him about that. It's been a while since we've seen an update on this one. Look at that photo terrain coverage, though. That looks very menacing. There we go. All right, well, let's head back into the simulator now. I was like, I know I'm not going crazy here. Okay. It would have been great to make that as part of the Orbx. All right, we'll take a look and see what it looks like without... wow, this is actually like... Yeah, well, it's sloped because it's not paved. Let's see what this one looks like from the air. We've got our 4x4 Albatross here. Check this place out. The Orbx offering is actually quite good. Obviously, nothing is going to compare to that photo reel, though. I wonder why, I don't know if Misha's still around. I wonder why they didn't do this one in photo reel like they did the other city. I think that would have been cool. Yeah, this place is awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Andre, it's I believe he's doing it for Aerosoft. Yeah, most of the stuff he does for Aerosoft, so. But yeah, this would be, I don't know why, I thought, I mean, because based on those screenshots, it looked like it was almost done, but I'm not a senior developer, so I don't know what goes on behind the scenes with coding and all that fun stuff, but pretty awesome, though. It looks great. But this is what the FTX Norway version of it looks like. And according to the screenshots that we looked at, it was a paved runway. So it looks like there is a paved runway down there. Now here, though, it's just a dirt airstrip. So actually, just out of curiosity here. Oops! Whoa! What the hell did I just do? Yikes! Sorry about that. Let me see here. Let's see what Google Earth has to say about this. And while we're at it, let's see. Let's go back to summer and see what some of these summer textures look like too. All right, while that's loading, let me take a look. Where's that runway? Actually, now that I'm looking at this, the data is probably not very good. Wow, yeah, it's not very good at all. Okay, is there a picture of the runway by any chance? Wow, this place is beautiful, though. Look at that. Actually, I'll tell you who should do this project is the gentleman who made Yosemite and who's currently working on Monument Valley. Oh my gosh, is he a flight simulation god or what? I mean, just the level of quality and how he figured out how to do those vertical faces is amazing. Unfortunately, I can't tell if the runway is paved or not, but I'm sure you guys would know. Oh, here it is. It's over here. Oh, no, that's not it. This thing's got 2 runways on it? Really? Oh, I crashed. That's alright. It wouldn't be the first time this morning. Okay. Look at it dancing around. Oh, straight through the wall. Boosh. Alright, come on, let's get back with the program here. Here we go. Alright, let's take a look at... now that it's a little bit brighter, let's see what it looks like with the summer textures here. go. That actually still looks really good, though. Look at the quality there. It actually looks really good, to be honest. Now that we see it without the snow covering it, you can get a little bit more of an idea of the detail. It actually looks very nice. Wow, look at the data that they used to construct these mountains here. So definitely the airport is not paved, but I'm sure that makes for a very exciting approach. And there's a nice little town over here. Almost kind of reminding me of the Lord Ho, except this is just much bigger. Very nice. You got all your roads flowing through there. And a little port or harbor. Very cool. So yeah, we'll wait around for Yo Airline to release this bad boy. But until then, obviously the variant as currently shown here by FTX Norway still looks pretty damn good, though. So, gosh, a lot of projects for Norway coming around. A little bit of a waiting game, but no doubt, I'm sure these products would all be worth the wait. Very nice. All right, so let's see. The next one on the list was Echo November Sierra Hotel. And that's where we're going to head to next. Once again, if there's a specific part of the product you would like to see, all I need is the iCal code for the nearest airport, and we will go there. Alright, so let's go back up to airport. Let's see, Echo November Sierra Hotel. Shulaver? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. I'll try my best. Take a look at some of the comments here. Let's see. Let's scroll up here a little bit. What did I see? ENRY. Okay, let me make sure to add that to the list. ENRY. Just checking some comments. Bear with me here for a second. And Tor Strandon's pointing out that photoreal for Norway. Sorry, get my mic here. Tor was saying photoreal from Norway is not free; it's expensive. And Andre says, I like that major developers like Orbx and Aerosoft talk to each other to make products compatible and so on. Let's see. And Misha said that he... Oh, Misha, I didn't know you were actually involved on this particular project. So Misha says he did the airport buildings for NOR. I see Echo, Foxtrot, Romeo, Oscar. I guess we can add that to the list. Let's see here. Just scrolling through. Give me just one moment. Let's see, I'm just checking the link that Tor posted there. Oh, I see now. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, it is a paved runway. Look at the coastline on that bad boy. Holy crap. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Wow, let me just zoom out and take a look at that. Oh yeah, the photoreal version of that island is incredible. There's almost no comparison. In fact, let me see if I can copy and paste that real quick here. Let me see, where's my email? Sorry, bear with me, folks. Give me just a second. Skip. Come on, sometime today, please. It's like email, free email nowadays. They want to spend so much time to load the doggone advertising. It takes forever for the actual email to pop up. All right, here we go. Yes, we want to send. Why? Okay. Come on. Alright, Yahoo won't let me send the damn link to myself, so we're just going to have to let it go. Screw it. Sorry, I wanted you guys to be able to take a look at that link and see how good it was, but it won't let me send the link to myself, so screw it. Alright, I'm done. Alright, let's see here. And Max is saying, sorry, am I the only one who isn't satisfied with NOR, especially texture quality is very bad in comparison to other FTX regions? I think maybe you are the only one who thinks that. I don't know. I actually find the quality to be pretty damn good. In fact, it looks like it's on par with SAK to me. This is a whole different region of the world, so quite naturally it's not going to look the same. Alright. Oh, wow. Look at some of these airport locations. You guys are good. Wow. You guys know where the best airports are. This is pretty awesome. Well, here's my hope. My hope is that, I mean, naturally, the Pacific Northwest is the most populous of all the FTX regions in terms of how Orbx is added in all the airports. Not even Australia has more airports than the Pacific Northwest. So, but it's my hope that we would see a lot of these airports get created because, I mean, look at some of these approaches. Look at the landscape around here. I mean, it's incredible. And one of the things that I've mentioned, especially in my tour of Northern California review, the part 1 of that, was, you know, I am not really much of a fan of flying into non-third-party airports. So whereas the airports that are currently here do represent quite nicely, there's just nothing like having that third-party airport to fly into. and I think one of the big issues with me is that when you spend so much money on so many third-party airports, and then you start flying into default airports, it's sort of like you're not getting your money's worth out of your third-party airports. That's what it sort of feels like sometimes. And it's much easier to justify it when you're flying into freeware airports because at least you get something that, you know, is as accurate as available to fly into certain areas. But some of these airports are just incredible. I mean, that's one hell of an approach. Look at the I mean, just the surrounding areas around these airports are incredible. And to be quite honest, I mean, many of the airports in Alaska aren't this scenic in terms of the surrounding terrain. Oh, I lost the airport. I was flying to it. I don't know where it went, but it's no big deal. But just trying to get a top-down overview looking at the terrain. I mean, the terrain here obviously is different from Alaska, so I would not expect it to look the same. Boy, it's almost like an alien planet here, isn't it? That's pretty incredible. That is some quality we're looking at here. And I was looking at Rolio's comments there saying that he's just a sucker for photoreal. He doesn't like FTX mountains. I mean, here's the bottom line. You're not going to get photoreal everywhere because one of the things, like the guys just mentioned, the photoreal is extremely expensive. So you're just not going to really see photoreal coverage, especially in these regions. So as far as it goes, you can stick with default, or you can use something like FTX Norway, which gives you something that is pretty much as close as it gets to the real thing without it being photoreal. So, I mean, that's kind of the trade-off. I mean, you may not like it, but I encourage you to find something better. Would be, you know, my response to that. And I think anyone would be hard pressed to find anything better unless there's some freeware floating around. What happened to my shield here? Oh, that's weird. Unless there's like some freeware floating around that offers it. Let's see, we just approach right in. Coming in a little fast here though. Look at that approach, look at that. Just that background, that's really incredible. Runway slightly elevated here, huh? Looks like, are all the runways in these parts of Norway like the same size? Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. Got some birds flying around there. Wow, some of these airports you guys have picked out are absolutely incredible. Look at that. And look, they even actually go through the trouble of putting in fences too, in case you didn't notice that. So, I mean, these airports are certainly a far stretch from what you would see in default. That's even if the default flight simulation even loads any of these airports, which I don't know. All right, we're getting ready to head to the next airport. Let's see here. Let's see, just going down through some comments. Gonna head over to, let's see, what was the next airport here? Let's see. We'll go to airport. Actually, you know what? Hang on. That way you guys don't get stuck looking at a black screen. Let's see, what was the next one? Okay, ENSH. Yeah, I'm definitely keeping these codes for reference. ENSK. Did we go there already? I guess not. Skagen. Oh gosh, I can't even pronounce that. Stoke Mark. I'm not going to even try. Okay, here we go. Heading off to the next one. So far, memory is doing quite well. We're kind of heading to a lot of different airports, and so far we're not looking even close to running out of memory. So that's a good thing. Let's see. ENRY. Did we add that to the list? ENRY is the next one on the list. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, we will be doing ENBR. We'll be doing Oslo as well. So just hang in there, guys. We're heading out to some of the more remote parts of Norway that a lot of us may not know about. So that's what we're kind of looking at now. Let's see. Echo November Sierra Delta. Is added to the list. Let me see. These are the ones we've done already. And I think we're at ENRY now. Is that correct? Let me just double check. Because I forgot already. Oh, ENSK. Yep, that's where we are now. ENRY is next. All right, here we go. Let me just do one more check through some of the comments here. Let's see. Why do you guys keep talking about this freeware Norway? I haven't heard of that. Let's see here. And Misha responding to a question I asked earlier about getting more airports covering Norway, pretty much similar to like what was done for PNW. And his answer was, it really depends on how the Norway airports sell. I think that Narvik and Bodo are gonna clear out the house. I think those two are gonna sell well. I'm pretty sure your Ireland's airports are selling pretty well as well. So I'd like to think they're gonna do well, but yeah, I guess time will tell. Let's see, just scrolling through, trying to get caught up. Give me 1 second. Oh wow, Torstein was saying that Norwegian F-16s have parachutes because of short runway. So basically every runway is like a carrier approach. All these airports are basically mini aircraft carriers. Let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and check out this area here. Let's go back to the simulator. All right, let's take a look. Wow, you guys really know the best airports. This is another nice one. And you can see here how the airports look custom made. They don't look, you know, like it's just a bunch of recycled FSX default buildings. I mean, it does really give a feeling like a very light freeware type quality, as opposed to just default altogether. I mean, the surrounding areas are really incredible. So I am noting that there does appear to be some mixed opinions and reactions. So far, they don't really mirror my my own thoughts and opinions of the work. I think it's actually very well done. Not really sure what else to say, but I'll say this. Because there seems to be a lot of comparisons to Alaska. I mean, if this looked like Alaska, it would be like, what's the point? Like, I remember when FTX Global the first previews came out, and a lot of people were really, noting that areas in Africa look like Europe and stuff like that. And, so that I remember the developers going back and, making some changes and stuff like that so that the whole world didn't look like Europe. But, I mean, in the same case here, I mean, I wouldn't want Norway to look like Alaska. I mean, obviously, everything is different. The terrain is different. The land class is different. So, but on a quality perspective, it looks, it looks spot on to me. So, once again, you are watching this via a stream, and the only way to really get a full overview is, of course, to have it. But, I'm looking at this. I'm considering, Australia, New Zealand, and they all look equally differently. They don't look the same. But in terms of quality, I mean, it screams to me an FTX region, But I think each region is each his own, I guess, I suppose. Wow, so another terrific airport with an amazing approach area. That's a really long bridge out there as well. So, I mean, in my own personal opinion, I think Norway has the potential, to be every bit as popular as, the Pacific Northwest. But the real question is, will the airport sell? Which was a good point that Misha pointed out. I mean, a lot of the airports that we've seen, of course, you have the mega airport, which is Oslo, and then you have the regional airports. But the smaller airfields, I guess that's what we're going to find out, once Narvik is released. But like I said, I have a very good feeling, and if my opinion ever accounts for anything with my experience with flight simulation products, I think Narvik is going to do very well. The hope is that it doesn't do too well, and Tor doesn't get filthy rich and then goes off and buys his own private jet and stops doing scenery development, because then that would suck. Misha is not filthy rich yet, so he's getting there, I think. I think he's getting close, but not yet, so he still has to make products for us, so that's a good thing. Very nice. Alright, so this is pretty much this area. And if we were anywhere else in the world with something pronounceable, I would say where we are, but I don't want to butcher the words up here. And out of curiosity, where are we? I want to keep making it a point to get an idea of where we are exactly. Okay, so this is where we are now. So down here, this is Bodo, down in here. And this is where we were before, that other remote location, so that gives us an idea of where we're at now. Cool. Alright, next stop is Echo November Romeo Yankee. And I'm going to get a quick drink of water and then take a look at some comments here. Go to airport. Echo November Romeo Yankee, which is Rig Air Force Base. Sorry, I know I'm just tearing it up. I'll be right back.